So the signal to fire has been given. We'll start out here, round number 2 of the 64-car shootout. The Get Fast 1 RVA list versus list night here at Richmond Dragway. It'll be a good one. Lake Canada out of New Kent representing the Ultimate Street list, and number 2 driver on the Summer Duck list, it's Adam Dean, the Trans Am on the Pertex side, taking on the T-Bird on the George Mason Mortgage Lane. Lake Canada rolls up out of New Kent, Virginia, the number 7 driver on the Ultimate Street RVA list. Adam Dean rolls up out of Brandy Station, Virginia, the Pontiac Trans Am, is number 2 on the Summer Duck list. A former Super Street list competitor here at Richmond, relocated for a job and joined the list up at the dock. Everybody staging up. Lake Canada turning it red. And Adam Dean going to the next round. Mike Miranda coming up. Miranda coming up out of Disputana, Virginia on the Pertex side of the racetrack. Mike Ratliff out of Colonial Heights and the Falcon, a couple of RVA list regulars. Your number 4 driver on the Ultimate Street list, taking a former challenger for the Super Street list. Miranda's LS-powered Mazda taking on the Mean Falcon out of Colonial Heights from Mike Ratliff. Clean and green off the starting line. Miranda moving first, top end. Ratliff trying to run him down and does. Mike Ratliff going to the next round. Next pair coming up. Looks like Joey Bach here out of Hampton, Virginia. The 2000 model of a Chevrolet Camaro. Taking on Louis Demetrison over there on the George Mason Mortgage Lane out of Gum Spring, Virginia. Chevy Camaro in the Ford Mustang. Lewis is number 7 on the number 3 on the Super Street list. Joey number 7 on the Super Street list. Instant green start. Lewis moving first, heading to the top end. Lewis goes to round 3. Matchup from the 252 versus the 804. Here's the number 1 driver on the RVA Ultimate Street list. Richard Tillman, the Cotton Mustang, taking on Steve Brinkley out of Greenville, North Carolina, the S10 pickup from the 252. One of the Kinston regulars taking on a Richmond regular. Ford and Chevy battle, the pickup and the Mustang, round number 2. Couple nitrous-fed beasts pull up here on the Thornton Motorsports starting line. Everybody staged up, the instant green start. The S10 actually moving out first. Tillman wheel stands and the S10 goes to round number 2. Or round number 3, rather. Great matchup coming up here. The tow truck out of the Performance Dynamics RVA list shop. Out of Mechanicsville for Brandon Terry. Number 9 on the Ultimate Street list, taking on the number 1 racer from the 252. This is David Braxton. Out of North Carolina, the Demon here on the Pertex side of the racetrack. Tell me they ain't bragging rights up for grabs here. Terry, the king of trash talking, trying to take down Braxton's Demon. Terry bumps in and is staged up. Couple more nitrous-fed beasts roll up on the line. 804 to the 252 and the Demon thundering off the Thornton Motorsports starting line. The Demon in charge, start to finish. Frank Burns out of Madison, Virginia, representing for the Summer Duck list. Taking on Daniel Thomas, representing for the Maryland list. Thomas out of Mechanicsville, Maryland. On the Pertex side, Burns out of Madison, Virginia on the George Mason Mortgage Lane. Instant green start, round number 2 on the line. Off the line, off to the races. Thomas trying to hold it out front and gets there. The win light going Daniel Thomas. The 301. So Pete Decker coming up here. Decker representing for the 804, the Ultimate Street List. Decker going to take on Thurman Braxton out in the 252. The Scamp over there taking on the Chevy Camaro here on the Pertex side. Off the line, off to the races, heading to the top end. Win light goes Decker's way. 804 picking up another one there. Shamar Marsh coming up. Taking on number 6 Ultimate Street competitor, Purple Rain, Gene Motley. Motley over there on the George Mason Mortgage side, one of the guys that has t-shirts for sale. Marsh here. Gloucester, Virginia in the Mustang, Motley, Purple Camaro on the George Mason Mortgage lane. Nitrous purging for each of them. Shamar Marsh here, just a couple inches from setting the stage, pre-stage beam. Everybody's getting set to race. The instant green start coming up in a moment. Marsh moving first, got the advantage, but Purple Rain brings the thunder and moves to round number 3. Next pair coming up, representing for the RVA list, it's the Olds 442 of Patrick Watts. Watts going to take on Devin Yankee here out of Warrenton, Virginia, the Nova for the Summer Duck list. Number 6 driver on the Summer Duck list on the Pertex side of the racetrack. Guys see something leaking, they'll check it out real fast. Patrick Watts going to get a single here. Yankee leaking some fluid out on the line. Watts 442 will crank down the George Mason Mortgage side and move to the next round. It's Wayne Ryder and Greg Beckner. Beckner, one of the Get Fast 1 RVA racers on the Fairmont. The wagon over there on the George Mason Mortgage side out of Chester, Virginia. Beckner going to line up here against Wayne Ryder out of Culpeper from the Summer Duck list. He would be the number 5 driver on the Summer Duck list. All staged up and ready to go. Beckner leaving first, top end, a little wagon that will move to round number 3. Rodney Ketterman coming up out of Haywood, Virginia, the number 10 driver on the Summer Duck list, the S10 pickup. And Mike Webb Jr. here out of Front Royal, Virginia in the 85 Mustang. He's the number 1 Summer Duck racer on the Pertec lane. Ketterman's pickup, Mike Webb's Mustang, they're on the line, ready to go. Moving side by side, but the Mustang moving faster, baby, and Webb going to round number 3. Boostzilla coming up. This is Charles Forrest. Forrest, number 5 on the Ultimate Street list out of Yorktown, and Miles Potter out of Barbersville, Virginia, 65 Belvedere. On the George Mason Mortgage Lane is number 4 on the Summer Duck list. The Nitrous-fed Beast taking on Boostzilla.
The Belvedere moving first, but here comes the Boost. Top end, the Boost is loose.
Boostzilla going to round number 3.
Next pair coming up, William Glenn. Out of Deltaville, Virginia, the C10 pickup taking on Doug Hayes. Out of Chesterfield, the Chevy Camaro. Couple of Nitrous-fed Beasts roll up to the line. Couple of Chevrolets, one of them with a truck bed, one of them with a trunk lid. Hayes puts the pre-stage on. Here comes Glenn rolling up pre-stage. They'll inch up 7 more inches and cut on the stage light. Instant green start. The pickup moving first. Lots of flash bang for Doug Hayes. Top end, Hayes still gets the win light. Blackwell here in the Chevrolet Camaro. Lusby, Maryland is where he calls home. Wiggins out of West Point, Virginia, driving for the Huckstep team. Over there on the George Mason Mortgage side. The little Mustang that formerly raced on the RVA list. With Daddy Don Huckstep behind the wheel. Now you see Don out there on the racetrack lining up Wiggins, who's celebrating his birthday tonight. He's going to try to celebrate it by winning a round over Marvin Blackwell here. Summer Duck versus Maryland on the line. Blackwell was ready for that instant green, and he got all of it. Heading out to the top end, the Chevy Camaro for the win light. Next pair coming up. Ultimate Street Competitor number 2 racer. This is John Dunn. Out of Mechanicsville, Virginia. Chris James, Super Street Competitor on the RVA list. On the George Mason Mortgage side. Thundering off the Thornton Motorsports starting line right together, but top end, John Dunn puts this one away, making a nice clean pull for the Crusty Dart. A single here for the number 1 racer on the MDIR list. This is Clinton Smith, Great Mills based Mustang on the Pertex side, the number 1 racer. A no-clock, small block shootout list up in Maryland. 2011 Ford Mustang on the Pertex side of the racetrack. His opponent actually had trouble in the lanes. So Smith will get a single to round number 3. Pre-stage, rolling ahead, staging that bowl, launching off that Thornton Motorsports starting line in the Mustang. Rocking him off the starting line, posted out to the top end. Round number 3, here he comes. Number 9 racer on the Maryland list. This is Kevin Nimrick taking on Dominic Emilio. Another Maryland list racer. The Chevy Camaro and the Ford Mustang roll up here on the line. Dominic number 4, Kevin number 9 on the Maryland list. Top end, Kevin moving to the next round of racing. Beautiful run down the Pertex side. The next pair coming up here, Stephen Cross out of Mechanicsville, Maryland. The Mustang on the George Mason lane, and Tracy Eubank out of Chester, Virginia. In the Mustang Pertex side. Cross representing for the Maryland list, Eubank for the RVA. And the guys cut things off because there's something leaking on the line. So Stephen Cross fires back up in the Mustang. Tracy Eubank firing up and having problems. Stephen Cross is going to single here off to round number 3. Next pair coming up here. Gates team coming up off of the Summer Duck, or the Maryland list rather. Gates over there on the George Mason Mortgage side out of Maryland. Number 3 racer on the Maryland list taking on Chris Heath's Toyota pickup here on the Pertex side. Gates thundering off the Thornton Motorsports starting line. The number 4 driver on the Maryland list moving on. Round number 3. Jason Roos coming up out of Deep Run, North Carolina. One of the 252 list racers taking on Bailey Buckler. Out of Bushwood, Maryland, the Cobra Mustang, a former list competitor on the Maryland list. George Mason Mortgage side. Both of them pre-stage, rolling up to turn on that stage light. Ford and Chevy battle here. The 252 versus the 301. The Mustang moves first, but the Camaro gonna muscle through and take the win light. Mark Coonley coming up here. Competition single. His opponent broke in the lanes, it looks like. Coonley's Chevy Camaro. He'll burn out. Line him up for round number 2. So Mark Coonley's Camaro rolling up here. Competition single for this competitor, former list challenger on the RVA Get Fast 1 list. Coonley rolls up, stages up, and launches off. Chevy heads down to the top end. Donnie Daniel coming up. Daniel rolls from King William, Virginia on the Pertex side. Going to take on Andrew Wiggins the 4th, the Bullet Mustang out of West Point, Virginia. A couple of former list challengers here on the Thornton Motorsports starting line as we wind down round number 2 of the list versus list action. Donnie Johnny Daniel thundering off the Thornton Motorsports starting line. His Malibu heads out to the top end on an easy win. Chris Wilkinson, Mechanicsville, Maryland on the bye run. Finish off the round. So we move into round number 3 of the list versus list shootout here. Huge 64-car shootout with re-entry has been tamed down to 24 gentlemen squaring off in a duel. Round number 3 of racing.